Hi there, it's Andrew here again, Andrew Weiler. Over the last few weeks, I've been talking about the 3 steps to master a new language, and the first step that was talked about was getting engaged in something, so you're actually fully involved in what you're learning. The second step is to make sure that your skills are developing, and the third one is making sure that your confidence is growing, and each one of those steps is really essential. And they're actually working together, as I've explained before. So I won't go over that now because there's a few sort of clips out there and some reading material as well. Today what I do want to talk about is the secret ingredient that makes everything work. And without this secret ingredient, in fact, none of it will work. Or if it works, it will only work for a limited period of time. So without this secret ingredient, what you'll find is that the engagement might happen, but the skills will not develop fully. Won't keep developing. The skills will get stuck at a certain level. And if the skill gets stuck, then your confidence is certainly not going to grow. And then all of a sudden, those 3 interlocking steps come to a grinding halt. So this secret ingredient is essential, and without it, like I said, the whole thing just will soon die, a very sad death. And the secret ingredient I'm talking about is awareness. So awareness is something that all of us have every day, sort of happens to us all the time, and even though we might not talk about it, it actually is what enables us to function effectively and keep ourselves alive, as it were. So when we go to cross the road, we become aware there's a car on our right and we stop. When we do the cooking, we can become aware that there's a smell happening and we rush to the stove because we want to stop the thing burning. We become aware of our kids screaming in the background, so we know there's something going on, so we rush there to find out what's happening. So awareness happens with us and to us. In a sense, we become aware of things all the time. And it's this awareness that we need to make sure that is functioning and is driving our language learning. And just to step aside or to the side for a second and talk about it in another way, like many of us have gone to language classes, and in fact all of us probably at school, and in a sense what happens at school typically with it, let's say, I don't like generalising, but a lot of the time, let's say, is that the teacher in a sense replaces or tries to replace our sense of our own ability to become aware of ourselves. So tells us, no, you're doing it wrong, Johnny, or you need to do it this way, or so that they give you feedback about things you need to do or not do, and exercise. So that's what happens a lot of the time. So we end up looking to our teacher to inform us about when things are working well or not working, and so we actually undermine our own awareness by doing that because we become reliant upon the teacher rather than upon ourselves. Textbooks are much the same in another way, or can be. So we end up going to the back of the book, look for the answers. We end up letting the book decide what to learn next. So we don't give ourselves permission, as it were, to notice the things around us and to drive our learning from what we notice is happening to us and not happening to us. And that's basically how a child learns the first language, is through their own awareness of what they notice and don't notice, and what happens, and what they do with that awareness is another issue, but it's the awareness that drives the learning. So it is something that to become effective, we have to learn to pay more attention to the things that we notice and the things that are around us and the things that we say. Awareness not only about the things that we hear other people say or do or how they sound, but also awareness of ourselves. So become aware of the differences, become aware of the things that are stopping us, become aware of the lacks, become aware of the things that we're doing well. all these are awarenesses that enable us to take the next step or know which way to go. And knowing which way to go, what to learn next, is as important, in a sense, as learning what we're doing now, because it's the direction that we need to take that a lot of people struggle with, and they, what will I learn next, and a lot of people don't actually understand that they have their own answers. Now, sometimes, of course, you can use a textbook or a teacher to help you, but inevitably, an effective learner soon brings it back to their own awareness. So it's a question of, what can I become aware of what I've read, or can I become aware of what the teacher told me in myself? So I recognize it for myself, in myself. Not think, for example, that I've learnt this, so I've got to make sure I do it when I speak. Or my teacher told me I need to do this, so I have to make sure I do this. So as long as the conversation in yourself remains at that level, that you're doing what you think you should do, or you're doing what you think you ought to do, your learning is going to get stuck very easily. It's that movement towards understanding that we need to recognize for ourselves, in ourselves, what we're doing, what we're not doing, what we could be doing, what others are doing, and that awareness of all that is what will enable our learning to go to not just another level, but to keep going onto other levels. So it's that combination of those three elements of becoming engaged, watching your skills develop and getting involved in it and making sure the skills are developing, and then the confidence building. It's those three elements that are essential to see, but what enables you to see them all working and making sure that they keep working is your awareness. And if you can have all that, if you can have that secret ingredient awareness functioning for you and fully alive and palpable and vibrating and sort of you can sort of feel, because you can feel it in a sense, or you can see it, you understand it, and it's and you recognize the fact that it is your awareness that is guiding you. It is your awareness that is helping you to get to the next step. Once you get to that sort of stage, and you're using those three elements, you become unstoppable as a language learner. Literally, nothing will stop you, because you know what you have to do. You do what you have to do, and you have those three elements working for you. Then look out, world! You can master any language that you want. I hope that's been of help. Talk to you next time. All the best, and enjoy.